Hi everyone, welcome to Hindsight. So in today's video, I am going to quickly go over the steps on how to write a sample personal statement for application to university or college, and also steps on how to write a cover letter that is often used for a job application. Here I have provided a sample, or shall I say a dummy application for a personal statement. I've written down the name of the university, the program title, the degree, which is a graduate master's, and some little bit of more information about the program, but we don't have to concern ourselves about this. Let us quickly go into the video. So, for a personal statement, there are three important components that you need. This is an introduction, main body, and conclusion. I have to mention that the length of a personal statement is very important, but this can vary from institution to institution. Some may require a maximum of 500 words, others no more than 1,000. However, I think that the standard is always somewhere between 2 to 3 pages, double-spaced and 12 font sized. But remember, the more succinct your statement is, the better. Here, I think the statement is about 2 to 3 pages in length. I've also highlighted the 3 different sections. The introduction is in blue, the main body is in black, and the conclusion is in brown. In the introduction, you really want to briefly introduce yourself. This should include a brief description of the reasons why you are interested in applying to study in a particular program, followed by your qualifications and the skills that you possess that makes you competent to study the program. Here you can mention the previous degree you completed, your GPA, and other relevant information. Also, don't forget to briefly mention why you chose to study in the particular school or department that you are applying for. So, for example, here I have written that I am writing to express my interest in the globalization program. I want to broaden my knowledge and application of theoretical approaches to globalization issues. I also mentioned that I studied globalization in my undergraduate program and that I acquired skills to help me further my studies in globalization. I also briefly mentioned why I think that university is suitable for me. Here I mentioned that because of the range of issues and diversity of scholars in the globalization program, I believe the university is suitable to my interest and other things like that. We don't need to go into details about this. I am going to provide links to this statement as well as the cover letter to my website. So you don't have to keep pausing whilst you're going through the video. You can quickly go to the link and it'll take you right to the statement and the cover letter. Second, which is the main body. Here you want to go more into detail about the things that you have mentioned in your introduction. I have 3 paragraphs for this. So for example, you want to detail the specific part of the program that you want to expand your knowledge on, and the type of research that you want to accomplish. If you want to develop a thesis, make sure to include the specifics of it in the main body. So for example, here I mentioned that there are some issues such as cybersecurity and climate change that are increasingly studied, and this is the specific thing that I really want to study here. And the implications include conflict. So conflict is a very important issue that I want to go into further research and expand my knowledge on. So here I just go into detail about that. Secondly, you want to further detail the specific knowledge and skills that you have acquired from your previous education or maybe work, and how they particularly have prepared you and will help you whilst pursuing your research. So here I mentioned that I was able to develop my knowledge of globalization issues and skills during my undergraduate program, and I go into more specific detail about them in this paragraph. And lastly as well, You want to go into detail about how specifically the program that you're applying for will help you in the future, perhaps like a career, and why you chose the particular department or the school. Here you can write more about the professors in the department, how their research aligns with yours, and how they can help you in pursuing your goals. You can also discuss how your knowledge and skills can benefit the department. So here, in the third paragraph, I quickly mentioned that the scholars at the globalization program, especially those interested in conflict and peace, are important for me. So I mentioned some of that. I also go into detail about how I can use my skills to support, or shall I say, benefit the program. And then the conclusion. Your conclusion should be brief and non-repetitive of what you have already discussed in your statement. You should simply express an appreciation for the program considering your application and your confidence in the program being a good fit for you and you a good fit for the department or program. So here I've just briefly mentioned that my interest is suited properly to the globalization program. I hope to develop and contribute my knowledge. I also hope that I have expressed my interest enough and I look forward to hearing from them. Lastly, don't forget to end with a formal pattern such as yours faithfully, your name, and thank you. Now, let's quickly move on to the cover letter. The cover letter actually doesn't require anything much different. It's the same format that you have to apply. However, the length of cover letter is usually shorter. It's between 1 to 2 pages. Here, I've included a job advertisement that I'm going to use as a dummy for this video. I've written down the name of the company, the requirements, which includes the cover letter, deadline, and some other job description information which are really important. Make sure to look at those when you are trying to apply for a job. So, in the cover letter, I have included the name and personal information such as address and email, date. I've also done the same thing, which is that I included an introduction, a main body, and a conclusion. In the introduction, I write that I'm expressing my interest in the customer service role, and I have the experience. I have a college diploma, and I also graduated with a 3.7 GPA. I learned a lot about growing a business. I also desire to serve my community. This is in line with what the company stands for, which is serving the community through the provision of quality local goods. The customer service team at the company is renowned for its diligence, responsiveness, and accountability. So here I have just briefly mentioned the same things that I did as my introduction for my personal statement, which is a brief introduction about my interest, my qualification, as well as why I would like to work with that particular company. And here in the main body, I also go into detail about my skills and how I think I would benefit, or should I say, my skills would be beneficial to the company. Here, I mentioned that I have worked in a customer service role for over 2 years at a national store OPEX. Okay, this is purely hypothetical. At OPEX, I ensure to promptly answer customer queries, going above and beyond to satisfy their needs. But one very important thing that you would need to do in a cover letter is to give a particular example of how you satisfied the need, or shall I say the requirement for that job, and what the implication of that was. So here I give a very good example. A customer asked me to help check for extra supplies of a product. I checked the inventory and it came back with zero stock. However, I ensured to communicate this with the manager, who helped to arrange for a prompt restocking of the product from a nearby warehouse and a next day pickup for the customer. It was a delight To hear from the customer that the service provided helped to ensure that our weekend family reunion celebration ensued as planned. So here I have written down one specific example of how I employed my customer service skills and what the implication for that was. Also, I further detail what the implication was for me. So, as a result, I was recognized by the manager for contributing to the success of the store and was soon elevated to the rank of senior customer service. So here I have written down not only the implication for the customer I served, but the implication for myself as well, which included a promotion. And I briefly mentioned the other responsibilities that I performed as a customer service, which included cashiering, advising customers, and so on. And then in the last paragraph, I mentioned more into detail of why I want to work with that particular company. I value the company, I value my community, and so much more. And then in the conclusion, I mentioned that I believe that that company is perfect for me and that I will develop my customer service expertise, and I hope that I've expressed my interest enough, and I look forward to hearing from them. And I also ended with faithfully, my name, and a thank you. So in the end, I hope you found this video helpful. Watch out for an upcoming video on how to write a CV. And if you did enjoy this video, please consider liking, sharing, or leaving a positive comment below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for future uploads. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.